Hey everyone, it's Mallory from Malama Auctions, and we're going to do a different type of video today. We're actually going to be interviewing someone. This is Mario. He's a new and avid bidder, and we're going to talk to him about his experience having bid at auctions now that he loves it so much. So the first question is, can you tell us a little bit about what your first impression was of an auction before you even bid or did anything with auctions?
It's usually what I see in movies, where the guy's like, we got another bidder right over there, 40, 40, 40, we got 40, unsold. That's pretty much my first impression. And, well, it's funny, but I'm like, no, it's not for me.
And what about the prices? Did you think that you could find good deals at auctions?
No, I figured auctions, they're expensive. They cost a lot of money, and I'm not, that kind of guy that's gonna be like, all right, let me drop a few thousand here and all that. So again, it was more in the movies or what you see on TV. It wasn't something that I figured would be for me.
Okay, and so if that was your first impression, then what made you go from that to actually getting online and bidding at an auction?
Well, I had a friend who actually, which is kind of cool. She's like, hey, check it out. Look what I got. I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, I got this for $5 at an auction. I'm like, what do you mean? That thing's like $50, $60. Like, no, I just got it for $5. And I'm like, huh. And I like deals. I mean, I'm more of a guy that I'd rather pay half price or less than full price, because why are you going to pay full price when you can get it cheaper somewhere else? So when that happened, I'm like, wait, where'd you get it at? And then she's like, okay, well, this is how you do it. I'm like, wait, auction? Okay, I want to know more. So that really struck my interest, because something that's $50 you get for $5, why not?
Word of mouth is honestly one of the best marketing techniques that not only auctions have, but in general, any business can have. If one person has a good experiences and shares it with one other person, then it can cause a boom for that business. So what type of things did you start off buying, or do you buy?
We started off small, because I've never done auctions, and again, I thought you have to go somewhere where someone's like, 35, sold. I thought that's what you had to do, but it was all online, so I'm like, okay, I can be in my PJs and clicking and clicking and clicking, and I do that already, so it's like, why not, So I started small to get an idea, and since I didn't understand how it worked, I'm like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have bid on that. But once I got the hang of it, it actually... I mean, it must sound funny, but it kind of changed our life in the sense that we spent a lot less money on buying things we needed than if we didn't know about the auction website. So whenever we see our friend, we always thank her and be like, thank you so much. Like, even to this day, it's been almost 2 years. And we tell her thank you, because it essentially, in the past 2 years of what we've been buying, if we would have paid full price, would have been $18,000. Now, mind you, that's little things here and there, but it would have been $18,000. What we paid was about $4,000 total.
Wow, that's a huge savings.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this too, because I just thought of it. Are you dedicated to only one auction house, or do you look at other auctions?
Oh, no, I look at saving. That's pretty much what it is. Not like one auction house is, I want to save. So once we bought our first few items, we're like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, let's look a little more. And once we understood how it worked, we're like, wait, we need a washer and dryer, because we were building our house at that time, and it's expensive. So we're like, wait, we can get a washer and dryer that is used but still works in good condition for, I think it was pretty much like 70% off than if we would have bought it brand new. Had a few scrapes, but again, I don't care about the scrapes, because they're going to happen anyways. Then we bought a stove, and then we bought... Oh my gosh, we bought a Vitamix blender. That's $500. We got it for $80. So once you start saving, you realize, well, I don't care about where I'm getting it, because I'd rather save the money than, I got to get it at this one place. So we're open to different places. We just want to save money.
So auctions are not only for the eBay buyers anymore. There's auction houses throughout the entire world. They're international. They're in China. They're in Japan. They're in the smallest islands of Hawaii. They are all over the continental U.S. I had someone in Texas recently told me that they thought auctions were only for cattle, because that's the only thing they'd ever seen. They didn't know that they could buy at online auctions throughout the United States, and also that there was auctions house local to them that sold everyday things like the Vitamix that he just got. So how has buying and bidding at an auction house benefited you and your family?
More money. I mean, we just took a vacation to visit a friend recently. And keep in mind, I just lost my job and then finally got a new job back. But we were able to save that much money that we weren't struggling, pretty much. So it's just more money in my pocket. And, you know, more flowers for the missus. So more vacations. But it's just nice to see more money's going in my pocket than, say, a big name retail store somewhere else, and I'd rather be that way.
Support the small businesses.
Exactly.
It's all about the small businesses. We're all families, and we all have to support each other in order to make it work. So this is all great information, but what advice would you give to our viewers that are watching this that are a little apprehensive or even nervous about bidding at an auction for the first time?
The fact that you're watching this, good job. But be curious. Honestly, just be curious and ask questions. Like whatever auction house you look at, you don't understand, email them, call them. There's always some way to contact them and ask them, hey, how does this work? That's what we did. And again, we would have spent, well, one, we probably wouldn't have gotten as much stuff as we did because we can't afford. I think the biggest item we got was like worth $1,000. We got it for $300. We couldn't afford that. So it allows us to get things we never would dream we can afford. But just ask questions and you'll realize that, you know what, there's a reason why the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. It's because they're more curious. They're looking, they're searching out, they're looking for the deals. They're not paying full price. So just be curious, ask questions, and look at all those other auctions out there. And if you don't know of any, this auction website right here, ask them, hey, do you know of any other auctions? Trust me, it's a small community. They'll recommend it. I'll give an example. We're looking at getting solar panels for our house. We would never do that because they're so expensive. I mean, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, $80,000, $50,000. We came across an auction that's a bankruptcy auction, and there's this huge solar company that's going out of business, and more solar panels than we can need for our house are going for like $3,000.
Wow.
So we're like, we can afford that. Versus, you know, spending all the money we're in electricity. So because of this one auction house and our one friend, we're now looking at things we could have that we never thought were possible. And even if you aren't looking for big things, get that one thing. Why spend $50 when you can spend $5? You know what? There's dinner right there. If you never buy anything else at another auction website or any other auction, well, you just save some money and have, you know, a nice good meal somewhere. So,
and just to touch on something that he mentioned, you said that, you know, contacting Malama Auctions or any auction house that you already bid with and seeing if they know of any other auction houses is honestly the best way to find more auction houses. Most of our auctioneers are part of a group called the NAA, and that stands for the National Auctioneers Association. So Malama Auctions is part of that association, and so we have contacts in almost every state, and there are some internationally that we have access to. So if you're ever thinking, I don't know where I could possibly bid anywhere near me, or a friend of mine might be interested in this, but she doesn't know where she could bid, then you know what? Just like you said, ask questions, ask Malama Auctions. We'll be happy to help you out and help your friend out find someone, because we all have to take care of each other.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention. I was out of work for about 6 months, and you know, you got to go through it. It is what it is. But what actually helped us was the auction websites. We found little items that were just so cheap in price, and we were reselling it. It's not for everyone, but we were in a position where we had no choice. Believe it or not, that actually made those 6 months a lot less stressful, because there were items like, man, no one wants this. I can make $5 off of this, and I'm just clicking there on the couch. So for those of you, you know, looking for a few extra bucks, I mean, sometimes that you can do that, and you put a little bit aside and it adds up, because that did make a difference. That in those 6 months, it pretty much came out to 1 month worth of rent is what it came out for us, of what we were able to save up. So,
and we oftentimes find people that bid with us, and even other people that have their buyers are people that sell jewelry. So they look at auctions to see if they can find good quality diamonds or gemstones, maybe in a not as preferable setting as this decade would want, but they might be able to clean it up and make it look nicer, add something to it. Just because it might not be what you like, there's somebody out there that wants it. There is something in the auction for everyone. I say that all the time, and it's true.
That is very true. One thing we tell our friends is, you know what? If you don't see what you want, give it time. You will see what you want. It'll come up. And same thing for us. There's things that we have a list that has taken us a year, but again, we're in no rush, and we're never going to pay full price for it. So when it does come up, it's like, boom, we have that money already set aside of a few dollars to buy the item. So what you want will eventually come up. And once you start getting to know different auctions, you start realizing, oh, hey, I want this one, I can do this one. But again, you're going to buy things either way. So why pay full price when you can get it at a discount? And like you mentioned, your friend, I had a friend, she bought a table and she sanded it, painted it. She spent, I think, $20 in materials and she sold it for a nice profit. Mm-hmm. Not going to happen all the time, but you know what? You start off small. At least you have something versus nothing. Because if you do what you're doing right now, which is nothing, that's where you're going to be. And you're going to be watching this and you're going to be like, cool, all right, well, he's doing it. Well, I was just like you. So get up, click, look, be curious. And even if you don't buy nothing, just look around. You might help someone else and be like, oh, hey, I know so-and-so could use this. So even if it's not for you, let your friends know.
Malama Auctions can be brought up on your phone, your tablet. We also have an app. So if you are interested in looking to see what we have up for bid, we have some great auctions up, newly listed this week, and they're going to be ending next week, starting on the 6th, 7th, and 8th. So be sure to check out our website. And I want to thank Mario for today's interview, and we'll see you all later. Aloha.
Aloha.